Alright, it's been quite the winter for me. Lots of busyness with work, and then getting sick a whole lot, so I'm not getting a lot done on this truck, but I'm going to try for it today. Tired of being lazy, tired of sitting around. When you're sick, you don't have much of a choice for that, but yeah. Today we're going to go after this. Now, someone might be smart enough to realize I've had this box for over a year. Recon lights are kind of black on top but clear up front. And I'm pretty sure I ordered the amber ones. So it should be the the newer style, where you have a good line of lights across the top and two on the side. So going a little bit newer than what these trucks would have come with, but should do the trick. And the hard part is, well, unlock the door first. But to get to all this, I got to pull all that down. So the headliner, the consoles, all that kind of stuff's got to come down. This piece here, I may even have to remove these pieces here just to get this down enough. We'll see. This is going to be an adventure in tear apart. I'm also going to fix something with that center console while I'm at it. I'll show you when I do it. I was looking at something too. These are nice and low profile. They're going to sit up here somewhere. Well, I'll have to drill that hole. They'll sit flat. What I'm worried about is that they sit below this rail. And they will. I think they will. So in these things, stamped into the top, there is going to be a hole on the inner sheet metal up here. So you'll see exactly where you're supposed to place those. The original kind were 5 separate lights that went across the top, but I'm going to do just these ones. But yeah, so we'll see once I tear it apart. We'll see exactly where things are at, where I've got to cut some holes. I think I will be sitting well enough below because of the curvature of the roof. Alright, progress report. That comes out. Let's get in the truck. I'm in the way of the light. There's one screw right up in there. This light sucks. And it has 2 clips sitting back there. So that comes out. A bunch of screws and a wire clip. If I can get the light anywhere, I don't know how. So yeah, wire clip. You unclip that. That gets your visors down. All the handles. Let me get in the truck for this. So yeah, 1 screw up front, 2 clips out. That slides out the whole center console. This one here, you can see those 2 silver screws inside there. That's all that holds that in up there. You can see where the little screws at. But that brings that out. Excuse me, still have a simple wire harness there. 3 wires for that. I'm hoping these are just integral with the headliner. And these handles are all Phillips screws. Those ones over there as well. Well, that one's 10mm bolts, and so is that one up there. Obviously your seat belts are a Torx bit. What size is that? A T50. So T50 pulls your seat belt off, and then these are all just held in by those clips like that. But you gotta be real careful. I've cracked this one right there. But you gotta be careful. I'm hoping this is all I gotta do. I don't want to have to unbolt that part of the seat belt. If I can just bring this loose. All I need is for this headliner to drop down enough so I can see what's in there. Hopefully get a drill into it. So the next thing is just to pop these out, and they're pretty much just clipped on up front and up front. So I'll pop those 2 pieces off. I should be able to drop the headliner down. But yeah, it's just Wreck-It Ralph playing tear apart in here. I may have to take this piece off too. This clip might. I can see there's just a tension fit in there. Yeah, that comes off that easy. Same thing with this one. Yeah. When I'm pulling something apart, I usually leave them on the same side that I'm pulling apart from, so they go right back in the same way. But that should, once I've got those 2 front A-pillar trims off, let me drop down the whole headliner. man, if I ever want to redo this headliner, it's got some blemishes and stuff, but if I ever want to redo it, this is going to be quite the thing. I'm going to have to rip out the entire trim of the entire truck. Alright, back at it. Alright, so I only broke one of the tabs on that A-pillar, which sucks, but actually two of them. Because there's another right up in there. That clip holds in there. It should just tension fit in there. I broke that one on that side. And broke the one down low. But once you get her down, the front is held in by these Velcro hookups. So there's a Velcro pad right there, the Velcro there. Now what I'm kind of dismayed at here, other trucks I've seen with the headliners out, there are holes on the inner skin. This one doesn't have any holes on the inner skin. There's holes on the inner skin for where you're going to put the actual mounts. This gives me enough room to work with. I'll just drill from the top. And let's keep the headliner out of the way, and then I can do the wiring and all that kind of stuff there. I was hoping to be able to have those holes and just go from the bottom, but I don't know that I can get this dropped down enough. Pretty much have to take the entire headliner out if I wanted to, but this also shows how much of a pain it'll be if and when I ever want to deaden the roof. The top skin of the roof is deadened with the Line-X. So now I just need to figure out placement. So I'm just going to pull out a tape and figure out where center is on here, center the center one there. And obviously for this, you've got a center screw right here, but you look at where this has to come through, there's an offset. So simply measure from that screw to there, and from center line you're going to need a hole there. The rest of this stuff can be done with these self-tapping screws they give you. And just screw it in. It does come with a pretty good little foam rubberized gasket. I was thinking about whether or not I was going to have to do anything else to it. I think for the screw holes I will spooge it a little bit with some silicone. I do, on a flat paint job one, it'd probably be fine with this. This one, I think I will end up putting a ton of silicone on it. Once I got it all screwed up, just do some silicone around the edge. Try to keep it watertight as much, and then just some silicone right there in the hole. But yeah, now's tape measure time. Figure out where this goes. It does have a slight curve to it, which just looking at it, it should fit. And generally there's the mirror. There's the mirror. Man, that's a big freaking chip there. Whew. A lot bigger now that I'm looking at it, but I had a rock hit me on one of the trips up the mountains. I'm thinking somewhere in this range is where that'll go, and the other one's somewhere over here. What I'm worried about is the visor screw stuff is right about here, so over a little bit for that might be good. Not sure. Because you look, you got that hole for access right there. If I drill through the top skin, I should be able to feed it through there. My intent is to run the wire all the way across and then down this and down under the dash through that little bit of gap up there. And then I've got the relay under there for my marker lights, and so that'll work just fine. I've already pre-wired a lot of that. Alright, yeah, nothing to do but do it. So again, like I said, pull tape, figure out where your center line is, mark that off the center line, offset that hole from the center line. So you're really only drilling 3 holes, one for each side marker and one for this big center one. Alright, here I go. Alright, pack rats never want for anything, right? I was looking at all my wiring options of what I could do for this, for the uppers, and since they're LEDs, I don't really need 14 gauge. There's a package that I got from Amazon for way cheap. I don't know. I think these are, say primary wire, but I don't think they're actually copper. That's why they may have been so cheap. They might actually be aluminum, but any which way. Pick those up. And then also AutoZone stuff that is 16 gauge. That's probably more the size I want to use on these instead of the 14 gauge. A little bit thinner wire, you know, a yellow and a black. But then I go looking in my bucket of junk, and I've got this. So this cable is all ready together. It's a yellow and a brown, which works for me. Brown side will be ground, yellow side will be the power. Plenty of length. So I believe that's my animal. That's what I'm going to use to wire these up. Use that. Well, yeah. Pack rats always have something, right? Alright, back to it. Alright, you got to get a little unconventional here because your basic tape measure, that's not going to work. You've got a curved surface on a couple different planes here. So, pulled out the tape measure for, what do you call that, for seamstress, for sewing, for whatever, and basically tagged it about the same spot on either side and come up with a center line of 27 3/8, and just basically put some masking tape in a couple places so you'll be able to mark that out. And now I got to figure out placement. So we'll figure out where I want that next. The ones over here will be a little bit easier. I'll just probably take an arbitrary measurement off the side and stick them somewhere about in there. But it's just that center one. You want to get that center one about as dead eye as you can, nice and centered. But that's how I'm going about it, matching a curved surface using a seamstress tape measure. But yeah, so some tools you might not ever think about having. This is one you probably wouldn't think of having, but luckily my wife had someone somewhere, had one somewhere. But all right, I'm gonna get to it. Alright, now the thing with these is they're meant to go right into a factory one. So they've got the factory style clip-ins on them. So I'm going to have to tear those apart. And I wish I had more bullet connectors because I've only got the one. Dang it. Thought I was ready for this job. I am not. So I do want to make sure I can take them apart someday somehow if I need to. If this goes out, I need to buy another one, whatever. But so I'm going to use basic spade terminals. This will all be inside the truck, so relatively waterproof. So I'm not worried about stuff getting to it. You just tear these apart. This little gray clip comes out, and you should be able to pull that off. There's a couple little spades on it, and I'll clip those and put those on. But yeah, so just a little bit of modification, and then once I got my holes drilled, I'll run all of this wire where I need it. Don't know that there's much more to say about that. You saw how I line it up. I might show you how I line up the two side ones. You notice they are kind of a right and left too. They do have a specific shape to them. So I'm guessing that's driver. And that's passenger, if you see how they're shaped that way. I don't know if they're marked. Marked the QC pass, but don't see them marked driver or passenger anywhere. Don't know. As you can see how I'm going to do it, because they do have that shape to them. So I'd end up passenger side and that driver's side just to follow the curve of the truck windshield. Well, yeah, I'm going to get to it. I got to undo all these clips. Honestly, for these buggers, you got to do a big hole. So I'm going to pull out the hole saws for that. And those seem to be centered down on where the spot is at, so I'll just make my measurements, make sure they're the same on both sides. Do a hole saw in there and stick those in there. Which means also seal the heck out of it with some silicone before I put it down. Alright, here we go. Alright, got them all in, holes drilled, wires run. Have not screwed them down yet. You can see I still got the green tape marking where I wanted that measurement wise. Let's come down in the truck. In the truck you can see I've got the wiring run. I've got a leg. We got a leg that runs the outboard, a leg that runs the center one, and those both go to a jumper leg that comes over here. That also goes to the outboard. That jumper to the other two, brown to brown, yellow to yellow. Heat shrink crimps run down there. It'll fit down there. At this point, you might be tempted to start buttoning all this up. I would advise against that, because the next step is really to hook that up into my wiring, flip that switch, and see if all those lights up there come on. If they do, then I'll button it up. If they don't, then I got something to figure out. Generally speaking, it should be okay, because all the yellow wires run to red wires on the lights themselves. All the brown wires run to black wires on the lights themselves, and I'll do the same thing, power and ground. Seems obvious, right? And you know, with LEDs, you've only got one way to work. It's single polarity, so it only goes one direction. But I'll figure it out. So yeah, next under the dash. Okay, the other thing I decided to do before I actually tap in the wire is I've zip tied it all to the factory harness. Did it up in here too. You can see some zip ties here. Notice I've left myself a lot of slack in there in case I ever need it in the future. But yeah, not the most exacting wiring harness, but there's my own wiring harness for this. Leads go down, all zip tied there. That'll keep it out of the way for when I put the trim panel back. Now all I gotta do is get down here. And I've got that lead off the relay for my marker lights. And I've got these coming in here. I love this in the blue light. You can't tell which is yellow and which is brown. Well, you can kind of tell, but yeah, I got to get the white light down here. I got a couple grounding points. This one right here is probably what I'm going to use. And just tie it into this line here. I do need to leave another lead off of this for the ones that go outside on the running boards. So think ahead when you're doing stuff. Yeah, here we go. Alright, here we go. Got it all wired in. Just need to zip tie it all up. I've got a lead left off, so I can tie in the side marker lights when I get to those. This right here, don't worry about that. That goes to the mirror reverse lights. Someday I'll figure out where I'm going to tie that in at. I'll find a reverse signal somewhere. So right now it's not powered, not nothing. It's just waiting for that day. But yeah, so there. That's there. Boom, turn those on. Can you already see that orange glow? And there we go, they work. All three of them are working. Still not secured. I'll secure them in a second, but get the electricity stuff done first. Make sure you've got it all up. Make sure it's all zip tied out of the way. And then I'll screw these down. Line them up the way I want them. This one with that tape, yeah, get it all screwed down. And it's just self-tapping screws, so. I got some silicone gasket maker. I'll throw some silicone around the holes I made. I want to keep this as watertight as possible now that I've penetrated it, but at this point I could start tying all this back together. Pretty much done there. But yeah, I'll show you the afterwards once I'm after. So here we go. I'm going to get back at it. Alright, it comes with a pile of hardware here. Obviously screws, but it also has these little things. Spacers, a little screw clip. Not sure exactly what those metal ones would be for, but these, well, both of them seem to fit in this cavity here. Don't know if there's a correct way, wrong way, whatever, but it fits in there, so I'm going to put them in like that. I'm guessing those are spacers of some sort? Don't know. But I'm going to do that and I'm going to screw them down. I need to get the silicone. Spooge the heck out of this hole. So I got bare metal there now. That's, yeah, more holes in my truck. Probably should get some touch-up paint or something like that, but the silicone will have to do. Someday I might take these back apart to do real bullet connectors instead of just spades that are wrapped in tape. That'll hold for now, I'm sure, but not exactly the best method. So yeah, I might be back in here again. Alright, I'm going to get back to it. Thought they were self-tapping screws. No, I ended up pilot holing these things. And basically find a size of the drill bit that's just slightly smaller than the threads on your screw. Pilot it on in. Turn that on, and boom. We're in. Got all our clearance lights nice and on. Glued and screwed. Should stay relatively watertight. Now, gotta clean up my mess in here. This will take me probably 30-40 minutes just to put this back together. Alright, a little bit of bonus content here. This sunglass holder does not have the kind of depth I need for my sunglasses. Look on the back side of this, you've got another 1/2 inch or more here. So if I just cut myself out a box there, my sunglasses should fit without being such an interference tight fit. So, my destruction tool of choice, obviously my plunge saw. I'm just going to cut that out. I got to be careful, hinges and stuff, so I need to come short of it here. Looking at there where I want to go, where the basket for the glasses is. I can probably come into right about here on that. So somewhere here, so it preserves the hinge for this piece. I'm going to slice that. Here's the seam right there of where that's all plastic welded together. So I stay short of that. Stay short of that. Give myself a couple inches right here. Just slice it there. I should be good to go. Sidebar thought, where did all my silver Sharpies go? Because that would be better to use. I don't know. I'm going to get to it. There we go, and it looks something like that. It gives me a lot more clearance so then the sunglasses can sit up in there. Being that it's the headliner material sitting here, it won't even bother the sunglasses. This has a really old, nasty felt lining in it, but I don't know, most times, well, let's see. So most times I got them wrapped in one of these bags anyway for protection. This may not work for trying it out. Let's see. Would you look at that? Yeah, now it presses up more, so it's not going to be such a tight fit. So you got clearance for the. This is the freaking, what do you call those? The earpieces. Clearance for the earpieces are in there now. I'll put it back in. See if that works the way I want. I know it didn't give you a before shot, but yeah, after shot it does a lot better because now you get a little bit more room up in there. And it shuts like it should. It doesn't bulge out. But yeah, that worked out pretty nicely. Now my size glasses will fit in there. Cool, that'll make me happier. But everything's put back together. The lights work. Let me do a outside shot of that for you. Alright, there it is. Cab clearance lights by Recon. So add that to the whole lighting profile. I just love the look of clearance lights like that. Now you can't have any excuse whatsoever saying you didn't see me coming. But yeah, I like them. I like them a lot. I'd highly suggest them on your truck if you're thinking about it. Oh. Yeah, that's going to be wicked cool. I'm good with it. So yeah, thanks for watching this far. We'll catch you guys on the next one.